There's a moment every man experiences but never admits out loud. You meet her. She smiles, she talks, she laughs, and yet something inside you keeps asking, is she into me or just being kind? You replay her words, her tone, every text she sends, searching for clues. Hope fights with doubt. Logic loses to emotion. But what if I told you that a woman's real attraction isn't T in what she says, it's hidden in what her body and energy reveal before she ever admits it? There's always one subtle shift that gives her away. And once you recognize it, you'll stop guessing forever. Welcome to Mind Hack Stoic, where we decode the hidden psychology behind attraction and human emotion. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you isn't surface-level dating advice. It's behavioral truth, rooted in how the female mind actually responds to emotional safety. When a woman truly begins to like you, her entire nervous system changes around you. Her energy softens. Her tone mirrors yours. She unconsciously picks up your rhythm, your phrases, your gestures. Not because she's copying you, but because her body feels safe near you. That's the first sign of real emotional alignment. She's not acting. She's syncing. It's subtle, but it's powerful. Because for a woman, safety isn't just about protection. It's about emotional peace. When she feels grounded in your presence, she begins to let her guard fall piece by piece. And that's when attraction turns real. But here's the mistake most men make. They try to force attraction with words, compliments, or endless validation. What they don't realize is that attraction isn't built through convincing, it's built through feeling. She doesn't fall for what you say. She falls for how she feels when you say nothing. When your silence radiates calm, when your presence feels steady, that's when her emotions begin to open. Her laughter becomes real. Her eyes linger longer. She finds reasons to stay a little closer, to keep the conversation going, to ask questions that don't really need answers. That's not coincidence. That's emotional testing. She is trying to see if your calm is real, if your strength stays steady when her emotions fluctuate. And that's the truth few men understand. When she starts to care, she doesn't want to. It scares her. Because attraction for women isn't logical, it's surrender. And surrender only happens when she senses strength, stability, and unpredictability balanced together. When she leans in a little too close, when her eyes hold yours for that extra second. She's not saying, "Do you like me?" She's silently asking, "Are you safe enough for me to let my guard down?" This is where most men destroy the connection. They chase, they overtext, they explain themselves, they prove they're a good guy. But to her nervous system, that reads as neediness, emotional instability. The moment she senses that you need her validation, the polarity breaks. Attraction dies. Because she's not drawn to validation. She's drawn to stability. She doesn't want a man who needs her attention. She wants a man whose energy remains calm whether she gives it or not. So when she starts to engage, when she teases you, or gently challenges your opinion, don't rush to impress her. Don't overreact. Respond with calm curiosity. Because her playful challenge isn't disrespect. It's a subconscious invitation. She's testing if you can meet her where she hides emotionally. Not with dominance, but with quiet confidence. That's what makes her feel seen without judgment. And that's where true emotional connection begins. Here's the paradox. Women don't fall for intensity. They fall for consistency. It's not the words that capture her. It's your energy, your stillness, your patience. When you stop chasing and start observing, she begins to chase your presence without realizing it. Because every emotionally attuned woman is drawn to the man who doesn't flinch under her emotional storms. The man who doesn't lose himself when she becomes unpredictable. To her, that's real strength. Not control, not arrogance, but emotional discipline. When she starts softening around you, when her tone changes, when she finds small excuses to connect, understand that you've already built attraction. But this is also the most fragile stage, because the more she feels, the more afraid she becomes. You've awakened something in her that she can't control. That's when she might suddenly act cold, distant, or indifferent. She's not losing interest. She's protecting herself from falling too fast. And how you handle that moment decides everything. Most men panic. They chase harder. They question what went wrong. They over-explain. But the stoic man, the grounded man, stays centered. He doesn't chase the storm. He stands still until it passes. And that stillness makes her feel safe again. She relaxes back into your energy. Because deep down, every woman wants to feel that your calm isn't conditional. That it's who you are, not something you perform to win her over. Understand this truth. When a woman starts testing you emotionally, it's not rejection. It's calibration. She's checking if your strength was real or just an act. She wants to know if you can hold space for both her softness and her chaos. The man who takes it personally loses her respect. The man who stays calm earns her trust. Because trust isn't built when everything is easy. It is built when she sees you stay steady through her emotional waves. Once she begins to trust that steadiness, something profound happens. She starts opening up. Her stories become deeper. Her laughter becomes softer. Her guard dissolves. She begins to mirror your composure, your tone, your rhythm. That's not coincidence. That's bonding. It's her subconscious saying, I feel safe here. And from that moment, you stop being an option. You become a presence in her life. Even when you're not around, she feels you, because she remembers how peace felt in your presence. But don't mistake her vulnerability for permission to relax your growth. The masculine energy she's drawn to must stay alive, not through effort, but through purpose. Keep building yourself. Stay focused. Because the moment your identity revolves around her, the polarity dies. She doesn't want a man who worships her. She wants a man who respects himself. When you remain consistent through her inconsistency, she feels secure enough to deepen her love. And when she finally gives you that trust, understand the weight of it. She's not just giving you affection. She's handing you access to her emotional world. Every word you speak, every silence you hold, becomes the atmosphere she lives in. If you're calm, she feels peace. If you're chaotic, she feels unsafe. That's how powerful your influence becomes once she's emotionally invested. So ask yourself, what kind of man are you teaching her nervous system to associate with love? Calm or chaos? Certainty or confusion? Because once a woman connects with you emotionally, your energy becomes her environment. And that's not a privilege, it's a responsibility. Real attraction isn't about making her want you. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't lose himself in the process. When you master your emotions, you master connection. When you lead with calm strength, you become unforgettable. Because women don't stay for excitement. They stay for peace that feels like home. Be that peace. Guard it. Grow it. This is Mind Hack Stoic, where silence speaks louder than words, and calm becomes your greatest form of power.